How are we doing, people? What up, Bisi? Let's get this sorted up. Ladies and gentlemen, 21 questions. 21. Becky, how you doing? Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 21 Questions. I am your host, IC. If you're watching this back on repeat, welcome to the gang. Welcome to the family. 21 Questions. Thank you for joining us. Good. Becky, welcome, man. Good. I'm glad to hear you very well. Good. Bisi, how are you doing? Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, 21 questions. We're going to get into it. 2 more minutes and then we'll get crack-a-lack and get started. Hot, man. Hey, Tommy, how you doing? How you been? Olufemi, good to see you, bro. Eve, nice to see you. 21 questions. This is the Sit Down's Insta Live segment where we get our guests on board and ask them as many questions as we can within the allotted time. Each guest has one pass card, and if they use that pass card, they skip a question. If they don't use that pass card, then they get to win a prize at the end. And today we have the amazing Bisi Akins. Yes, Tommy, finally you made it. You never late isn't, how do you say it? Now is never too late. However you say it. Yeah, my daughter's in the back. She's just wilding now. She was always wilding, man. All right, 1 more minute, and then we're gonna get lacking. Let me know how your day has been. Hey, Esther's in the building. Birthday soon come. Good to see you, sis. Emma, welcome. Hey. 21 questions of Bisi Akins. You know what? I'm sure I didn't pin that. Yeah, I didn't pin the comment. No way there. Well, we're in the building. Join us. Tell a friend to tell a friend. 21 questions. I'm your host, IC. That's ICIE. If you want to follow anything, I'm going to put my handle in the comment section right now. Big up our sponsors for 21 questions. Proper Popcorn, best popcorn in the world, hands down. Next time you're doing your shopping online or you're in store, pick up a packet. All right, without further ado, we're going to get crack-a-lacking. We're going to invite Bisi on board. Let's get it going. Bisi!
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm blessed, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good to see you. How's your day been?
It's been okay. I literally just came off. I was doing a live on Yanga, so I'm still at the studios right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I just finished. It was good. My day's been busy.
Yeah.
It's been blessed. The weather has been bipolar, as bipolar as it gets.
Trust me.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Can you hear me?
Good.
Clearly, yeah?
I can hear you. Yeah. You're a bit fuzzy, but
My fuzzy.
You're a bit
Pixelated. Is it B-Tech?
That's it. Yeah, it's B-Tech.
B-Tech. Sorry, I'm not connected to my Wi-Fi. I'm connected to the studio's Wi-Fi.
No worries at all. No worries. Well, thank you for joining me. 21 questions. The gig is this. You are going to be given as many questions as we can give you within the hour. You've got one pass card where you can skip a question. You don't have to answer that question. Okay. But if you make it all the way through without skipping a question, you win a prize. Okay, you win a prize. So the prize is this. I'm looking at it right now. But you only get it if you don't use your pass card.
So you can't tell me. You can't
Oh
tell
no. We don't do it like that.
Okay.
So yeah, are you up for the challenge?
I am up for the 21 questions challenge.
Come on, nice. Big up to everybody that is tuned in right about now. It's all about you and interacting with us. So you've got the comment section right there. So make sure you let us know how it's going. If there's anything that resonates with you, let us know, okay? And if you're watching this on repeat, make sure you watch the full, the whole thing that we put out, but then also go and check out all the other episodes. We've done about 10 episodes. Go back, see if you can make your way all the way to the first one and see who we've been talking to and sharing some great gems. And Bisi's going to do the same today. No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. All right, cool. We're going to start off light work. Now, me and Bisi, I know Bisi, I haven't even known Bisi for long. Was it this year we did that show?
This year. No, yes,
crazy.
This year. So much has happened in this year. We feel like, was it actually this year or not?
Exactly. I was asked to come and host the UK African Wedding Awards. Is that how you say it?
That is correct.
Yes. And one of my friends, she asked me to come and help co-host. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. He said, who's going to host? Who am I going to be hosting with? And he said, oh, Bisi Akins. I was like, oh, okay. Who's Bisi? I don't know. So I thought, okay, let me do some research. Let me find out who Bisi Akins is. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, my work is cut out for me. I was like, this is a pro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good okay. I was like, this is a pro. Like, I hope I can do her justice, but also do the event justice. And I remember meeting you for the first time. We met at the back and you're doing your makeup. And before then I was like, oh my gosh, how is she going to be? Because, you know, it has to gel. Because if it don't gel, it don't work. And then I remember you turned around, you're like, hi. And you had such a bubbly, warm personality. And I think just in that moment, I was like, it's cool. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And we went on to both host the awards show. And it was just a fun night. Now, we just had fun with it. So for me, that was my first entry into who you are as a person. But looking behind and seeing all the things that you've kind of done, I was just like, man, that's why when I started the 21 questions, I was like, I want to get you on. I'd love to find out a bit more of who you are and your journey. So thank you so much for joining 21 questions. But we're going to get straight into it. We're going to start off light work. So we're going to give you light work and then we're going to throw you in the deep end. So I want to know what gets Bisi angry.
Oh, what gets Bisi angry? I don't get that angry that often. But I think like things that are like illogical, like when things don't make sense, it irritates me. I wouldn't say it angers me, but it irritates me. And I don't like rude people. Rudeness is unnecessary, and I think that it really
100. Has there been a time where your anger has kind of spilled out and lashed out, or are you someone who is passively angry? You're like, you keep it inside, I'm angry, or are you someone that outbursts?
I think when something angers me or irritates me, I stay quiet. Like I listen,
Yeah.
and then I will just hold it to myself for a while and like maybe express it in other ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. You can come through and get your
That's
things.
good. All right. Well, light work. We're starting off light work.
Uh-huh.
Tell me, what did you actually know this answer? But what did you want to be as a child?
I wanted to be a doctor and
A
save the
doctor.
world.
Yes.
Yes, I wanted to be a doctor, a GP doctor, and then I went into my in my GCSE. I did maths. No, I got 4 A stars, 4 A's, and 2 B's. Good, I'm on a good track. And then
Yes.
my AS levels, I did maths, biology, chemistry, and psychology.
Yeah.
And I went from 4 A stars, 4 A's, and 2 B's, and then I got a D and 3 U's.
And 3
Oh
years.
my
Yes.
gosh, I can't be a doctor of the whole body anatomy. So if I can't be a doctor of the whole body anatomy, I'll be a doctor of the mind, because I've got the D in psychology, and I just enjoy people and the way they work and all of that good stuff. And then I was like, all right, cool, let me be a psychologist, a clinical psychologist at that. So I still have the doctor,
Yeah.
the doctor at Bisi Akins, and then yeah, that changed too.
That changed as well. What did you learn from when you failed, when you got that D in you, because you were set up in your mind to be a doctor? That was the journey. That was the goal. What did you learn from that, in quote, defeat of the D and the U's? Because you had to get up again.
Yeah, I think that was one of the hardest times in my life, in terms of just like being left behind. I felt left behind. I'm born in November, so I'm like part of the earlier lot in terms of the academic year, and I just felt like, so my age mates are doing uni parties, they've gone away,
Age mates.
and I'm still. I left Christ the King sixth form college. I went back to Lara Trait sixth form, so then that's the feed where the teacher's like, I told you should stay. Why did you go?
Wow.
And then I'm in class with like girls that are like, it seems like they're 2 years younger than me, you know, because of how the academic year was. And I learned that what your friends are doing, it doesn't really matter to your journey and your life.
Yeah.
And just because you are not going or at the same pace or according to the same timeline as other people doesn't mean you're not still moving.
Yeah, true.
And understanding direction over speed, and understanding how I was as an individual outside of my friendship group, outside of being with people.
Yes.
Taught me a lot. Yes, of course. It just taught me a lot in that sense.
Yeah, 100%. And then that must have been difficult, but you made it through, and you kind of weaved your way through to finding your passion and what you love to do, which is making people feel comfortable, making people feel at ease. And me meeting you for the first time, I can tell that that's not something you've trained for. That's something that you just possess within you. That's good. That's God given. And I think for your role and for your, especially in presenting, it works so well, because we're meeting people who you've never met before, who are sitting right next to you, and you've got to spark it off like that. Tell me about how that has been instrumental in becoming a presenter, that skill of being able to make people feel comfortable.
I think it's been so instrumental. I think it's one of the things that set me apart and allowed me to be who I am. Presenting wasn't, like I said, it wasn't the goal, and I fell into it. And the reason why people said you were good at that, you're not, you make people feel comfortable. You're like down to earth. People can speak to you regardless of whoever it was. And in presenting, you encounter so many different people of different calibers, of different pay classes, pay rates, of different everything. I think my ability and the gift that I have to be chill with everybody and anybody allows me to excel, and it's very, 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 very imperative to the way in which I converse, the way in which I ask questions, the way in which I smile with you and connect with you. Because if you're not comfortable, you ain't gonna speak to me, and I ain't gonna get to know your story. I won't be able to tell your story. So yeah, it's very, very important.
Tell me about the real struggles of presenting. Because it looks glamorous, it looks awesome, amazing, but what are the actual real struggles behind the scenes that people don't see?
Presenting is as glamorous as it looks. It's tedious, it's tiring, especially because you always have to be bubbly. You always have to be the person that brings the light, the energy, and sometimes you don't feel like it because we're here, you know. Sometimes I don't want to be, hi, I'm Bisi, nice to meet you. Sometimes I feel like, yo, you're right, or not even say anything. And having to upkeep a certain level of a facade gets draining at times, especially when you don't feel like you're moving. Presenting is not a consistent, it's not very stable, especially when you're starting, especially when you're not getting paid from the gigs and you're doing a lot of stuff for free. And the public eye will look like, oh my gosh, you're at the Tenny concert, or you're at the Wizkid concert, or you're backstage. Oh my days, oh, that don't pay my bills. No way. And people will be like, oh yeah, but you're doing this and that, so it looks like you've made it, or you're at a certain level, and they put you at a pedestal, when in fact you're human like everybody else, and maybe way behind other people in terms of just like stability and finances. And you can't complain, because you're with the high life, you're with the fun people, you're with the entertainers, you're doing all of that stuff. So keeping up that facade, allowing people putting you on a pedestal, and instability with finances, I'm telling you, that can do someone crazy. Can do you crazy.
How do you what is your kind of outlet? Because if you have to keep up that facade continuously, when do you let that guard down? Is there a place that you can let that down, and how do you do that?
Yeah, when I'm at home, I have like a group of friends, people that I can speak to that allow me to just like be myself. Even though I am myself all the time, but sometimes myself is, I don't want to talk to you, I just want to watch movies, I want to eat pizza at home, don't chat to me. And also, as much as I'm on my phone, when there's times I'm just not on my phone, so I won't respond, which is not good, but I just don't want to have to keep up. So sometimes you ask my friends, they'll be like, "This is so bad with responding," and I don't mean anything by it, but because I'm always having to upload, always have to be like, when I don't want to be on my phone, I'll go, see you later, another time. But yeah, when I'm at home watching movies in my room, I've got a projector screen. Just chill, eat food, pizza, cake.
Nice. One time that you were on the pedestal, a kind of big pedestal, was Miss Nigeria. Miss Nigeria UK 2014, and you won that. Did you think you were going to win?
Nah, man. No. When I felt like I was very like tomboyish when I was younger. I still think I am. I just have to put makeup on and stuff now. And then I started doing like runway shows. So my first runway show was my Rip the Runway. Rip the Runway with Dex, and then my friend Nicholas Dex,
Yes, Nicholas, my brother.
And then they were like, "Oh, there's this thing called Miss Nigeria. You should try it. Like, you've been doing the modeling. You're pretty. Just give it a go." And I was just like, "Bro, that is like so girly, so ugly, so beautiful. Like, I'm no time, no energy for that, yeah." And it was like, "No, you can do it." And I like to take things on as challenges to see what I'm capable of. So I took it on as a challenge just to see if I could do it. And then I won. By fraud. But they felt like the reason why I won was they said that they love my smile, once, we thank God. They said that I was hardworking, they said that I was down to earth, and just like every other person, you know, just like down to earth. I think that one really works for me, and I was good. My dresses were nice. I played the violin, set me apart. Thank God for light, shine, glory, all of that good stuff.
And did you, coming from off that, because you studied psychology?
Yes, for my undergrad
and an undergrad degree. So there is a theory by Laura Mulvey, Laura Mulvey, the male gaze. And I wanted to ask, with such a kind of program where it's like beauty is on display, and people are judging that beauty, did you ever feel that the gaze was just about your beauty and that was it? That's all that mattered, especially in that kind of industry?
On a surface level, yes. To be a palladium queen, or however it works, beauty is your way in. You need to look appeasing to the eye, and that helps with presenting. It helps with anything where you are camera facing. If you are appealing to the eye, you have an advantage. But with Miss Nigeria, there was more to it than beauty. It was more than beauty. They had depths. You had to be educated. You had to know your history. They taught you about the culture. You had to have a talent. You had to attend rehearsals. You had to know how to walk. You had to know how to speak. So it was more than just beauty. But yes, there is a pretty privilege that people don't like to accept that they have, and they do have it. And it's only negative when that is the only thing you have to play with. Let's say like an athlete, for example, right? He's sick at ball, like he's really good at ball. Just because he's really good doesn't mean he's not good at anything else. It doesn't mean he can't use his strength and his skill at playing ball. Same way as a model, you get paid to look good, but doesn't mean that's all you are. So pretty privilege exists, but it only becomes a danger when that's the only thing you have.
Mm-hmm. How do you as a person who has pretty privilege, I don't know if I have it, hallelujah, let everybody else decide that, amen. But like, how do you, if you're always complimented for your looks, if doors are always opened for your looks, what can somebody do to not take that as serious, or not take that as, what am I trying to say? Because some people don't actually know they have the privilege. The same thing with white privilege. Some white people don't know that they have white privilege. How can someone peel back the layers and understand that they are more than their beauty? Is there anything that they can be doing?
You just have to look within. Like, I feel like looks fade. There are so many beautiful women in this world, so many beautiful men in this world, and you're not always going to look like that beautiful for the rest of your life. Well, black don't crack, and if you eat the right vegetables, that good stuff, I'm
Come up.
fine. But you have to look at, if, let's say, the mirror didn't exist and I didn't look like this. For example, I've got 2 pimples right now, right? If these pimples were all over my face, or if, I don't know, I got an accident and my face got slit, God forbid, what else exists? Your character, your personality, your charisma, your intellect, your morals, your values, your interests, how you are as a person. That's all of those things make up this beauty, or make you who you are. And also, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's very, very subjective. I could be beautiful to you right now, and I can go to China and I could be butters. Doesn't mean I'm beautiful, right? So I feel like you should to stand outside of pretty privilege and just being pretty, look within what it is, what exists outside of your physical attire.
Beautiful.
The question.
No, it does. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. So you've done amazing things. Like, I was looking at your roster, I was like, hey, like, things you've done with Redbull, Afro Nation, such a big thing. What's for you personally been like a massive highlight for your career? Because those things might be what we see as, oh my gosh, but for you personally, what has been a highlight for your whole career so far?
In terms of presenting, right?
Presenting, yeah.
I really, really thoroughly enjoyed Redbull. Redbull, I'm a Pico because one is Redbull is a huge brand, and I'm a Pico is basically for social entrepreneurs. And I remember Georgina, she goes to my church, she must have messaged me. She's just like, oh, I'm part of the team and I think you'd be perfect for it because you have your youth initiative. I run a social enterprise called Young Gifted Initiative, and I created this concept called Selfie. And I was just, so I'm being called out. Yes, 1 second.
Sorry.
Yes, I will send it to you. I won't forget, I promise. Yep. Another half an hour. Can I have an iPhone charger, please? An iPhone charger, Tim. Sorry.
No, sir.
Thank you.
Let us know how you're finding the live, guys, so far in the comment section. Thank you for joining us. 21 questions with Bisi Akins, and she's just giving us the gems right about now. Yes. iPhone chargers are must.
Yeah, because if I don't die, I don't know what I'll do. But yes, sorry.
So you said that you were doing an initiative. It's like you fell over.
Redbull was really, really amazing because they called me out of my normal presenting to do something of substance and build into other people, and I thought that was really, really good. I was able to give social entrepreneurs wings to impact other people and have service and serve the masses. So it wasn't as self-serving, because sometimes presenting can be self-serving. You're literally just doing it because who can I interview, or how will it look for my roster or my accolades, or how reputable is the act that I'm speaking to. Whereas with Redbull, I'm a peaker. I was really presenting, yes, but I was serving others in that too. I loved Afro Nation. Afro Nation Portugal, the first of its kind to happen. It was really amazing. It was a great community. It was amazing for us as a people. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But yeah, Red Bull I'm a Pico was fun. Yeah.
What do your family, what do your parents think of your success so far?
My mum she still be getting on to me. She'd be like, Bisi, you're not getting any younger. You need to have stability is key. I'm telling you, stability. You need to have stability. What about the savings? It looks good, but maybe it should be part plan B. You should still apply for a job. She respects it because I've been consistent at it, regardless of. And my mum gets on to me quite often out of love. You know how African parents are. She gets on to me quite often, so she does respect that. I truly believe that this is my purpose and this is what I'm meant to do, and I will succeed in it to a level where she doesn't need to worry about anything else. So yeah, she supports me, but she's still concerned to a certain degree, because she'd be like, yeah, you just need to see money, consistent money, not one off here and there, and rightly so. Even me, it concerns me too, but I trust and believe that I'm not on a journey that God hasn't placed me on. And even if the timing doesn't seem right now, in the grand scheme of my destiny and how God has orchestrated my life to be, everything that's happening makes sense. And only in hindsight will I see that this moment that I'm in right now was so necessary.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You wrote about, in your undergrad, your dissertation. You wrote a dissertation called to Fatherless. Yeah. Fatherlessness.
Yes.
And when I was listening about that, I was blown away, because you said that the dissertation wasn't for yourself and It wasn't for your mother. Tell me what it was for.
It was dedicated to the fatherless. I grew up without my dad in the house or whatever, right? So I I was fatherless in many ways, in every way, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I just felt like there were certain things that I didn't understand, right? Or that I didn't know, problems that I didn't know that I had. And I just felt like if I could dedicate a piece of work, a research study to fatherless women specifically, and how it affects their romantic relationships. Wow. Not only will I learn things for myself, but I will be serving others in terms of their healing process and them identifying that there may be some issues that they've repressed or that they don't acknowledge, and they can build upon. Because I realized that there were many things that I was doing that I didn't know what the cause was, and until I addressed fatherlessness as a possible option to why I was behaving the way I was behaving, or why I was angry, or why I was this, or why I was that, I won't be able to grow from it. And a lot of fatherless children, they harbor a lot of resentment to their absent fathers, and they don't acknowledge, or they don't understand that resentment that is within them is only hindering them from being who they need to be. You hating your father, me hating my father, me resenting my father doesn't really take anything from him. He wasn't there. He's gone. He's not in the picture. But it takes from me. It is energy that is draining, that is pulling you down, that makes you feel envy when you see your peers with their fathers. It makes you feel like, bro, I was abandoned. It makes you feel wealthy. It makes you feel so many different things, right? And until you address those issues or identify first that you have them, you can't really grow from it. So in that research, I learned so much. But not only did I learn so much with the participants that I spoke to, when we had like the debrief after, they were like, I've learned, I've grown, and I've let go. And in that was, I feel like, one of the greatest acts of service I've done. I don't read it often. I have it on my bookshelf, because I feel like that journey of letting go is very hard. It's very difficult for me. Because even till now, sometimes I'm like, oh, when I get married, am I gonna walk down the aisle alone? Am I gonna have that daddy-daughter dance, or do I even invite him to my wedding? And even as I succeed, sometimes I'm like, am I really doing it because I want to succeed, or am I doing it so I can make him know that he left, and he left something good? And it's a difficult journey, and it's not one that I've done the dissertation and all of a sudden I'm healed. No, there's many reoccurrences of it being prevalent as an issue. So it's an ongoing journey, and sometimes I read it, sometimes, like most times, I don't. It's tough, but we're growing every day. We grow.
Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing that. You didn't have to. You could have used your pass card, but you chose not to. I appreciate that. What could you see during that research about yourself in terms of your romantic relationships? What were some things, some traits, or things that you were displaying as behaviors that you were able to link back and say, that's why?
In terms of romantic, in terms of fatherlessness, there's like this thing called a fatherless woman syndrome, and it has five what do you call it, layers. I don't remember all of them, but there was like the overachiever, there's like the promiscuous one, there's the one that is emotionally avoidant, there's the rage, anger, and depression, and then there is one that it's, I can't remember the last one, right? And with me, it was definitely the overachiever one. I was going at it. Like, I wanted to be the best that I could be, not for myself. So when my dad saw my name in lights, he would try to call me, and I'll be like, Omo, chill out. You weren't there. You didn't build it. Did it all by myself. Thanks to my mama. Just allow it. And
you wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
And in terms of the romantic relationships, I learned that women either have this ideology of what the perfect man is, right? And the perfect man in that ideology comes from like Disney, or what they see in Disney, what they've seen portrayed out, because you have the Prince Charming, you have all of that. And then I'll also see that in romantic relationships, that because as a fatherless woman, your first love, which would be your father, right? The person that loves you, that is a male, in a non-exploitive way, that is gone. You don't have that. So you don't have anything to use as an example. So anything that comes to you that says, oh my gosh, you're beautiful, you'd be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I am. Or you would be like extremely promiscuous, trying to fill that void that exists because the first love that was meant to be your dad wasn't there. And it happens in a lot of women, and you see it in terms of what they accept, not knowing how you should be loved, not knowing how you should be treated, because the first man that was meant to show you that you're precious, you are beautiful, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, you are so dear, wasn't there to tell you. So anybody that just says, oh my gosh, you look cute, you know, you'd be like, swear down, babe. But yeah. There's so many layers. And in terms of fatherlessness, there's so many different ideas of fatherlessness too. Like, you can have a fatherlessness situation where you are abandoned by your dad. He left you. You can have a fatherless situation where your dad is present, but he's not emotionally there. You're still fatherless. You can have a fatherless situation where your dad has passed, and that's not his fault, that's not your fault, but he's still not there. And those different avenues, or those different levels, result in different responses to fatherlessness and how it affects the person. Abandonment, I think, has the worst sort of effects, because you actually feel like you're not worthy. Why would you leave? Like, I'm not worth anything. And the most difficult one to combat, I would say, is the one where your dad is there, but he's not there, because you can't really complain because your dad's there, and people don't understand. And when you complain, you're like, allow it, or your dad's in the house. But imagine being in a relationship with somebody and the person is absent but physically there. That is draining. So I think that's the most difficult one to combat. And bereavement, you get over that a little bit. Yeah.
Wow.
But so many layers. I want to do an event on it. I'm going to
do. You know what, Bisi, you have to, because just you describing elements of the research, and you can see in the comments, a lot of people can connect with it. And even though that is sitting on your shelf and you read it time to time, there are people that need to read it to identify and connect with it themselves and be like, oh my gosh, that's why I'm like this. So this book, just even if it's just an ebook, I just feel, just get it out there, because there are women like you and men who can't identify why do I keep behaving this way? Why do I keep displaying these traits, whether it's in a romantic relationships, whether it's in a parental relationship, whether it's in a brotherly or sister, sibling relationship.
Yeah.
And this book here could be a massive, eye opener.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, I'm a father, and I'm a father to a daughter, a girl. And I remember what time was it? Yeah, I think it was like a month about 3 weeks. I said about 3 weeks to my child coming. Eddie Caddy, Eddie Caddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Caddy. So he's a good friend of mine. So I messaged him. I said, bro, I'm nervous, man. I was getting so anxious because I was thinking, how do I do this thing I've never done before? And because it's a woman as well, I really want that woman to grow up and know herself and to know love, because I've had so many friends, female friends, who, when I speak to them beyond the surface level, fatherlessness really rears its head and shows the deep underlying hurts that they experience. So as a father coming into it, I'm thinking, man, I want to be able to help mold a woman who knew love and knows love from her father, like that it's unconditional, to know that, you make a mistake, you can come here. You do good, you can come here. I want you to know that. What would you recommend to me as a father, and to fathers that are maybe watching or want to be fathers? What advice would you recommend in raising up a child in love and letting them, and not being fatherless?
I don't know, be there and be attentive, listen, watch, assess how your daughter moves, speak to her soul, like daddy. I feel like girls love their fathers. You're just big, tall, strong. I just want to run to you. But I would definitely say be there, listen, be attentive, show her love, show her so much love, as in like pour so much love on her, it's like she's swimming in it. And I would say definitely spend time with her, be there and show her love. I don't have the experience, so I wouldn't know what to tell you. But out of what I lacked, I would definitely say just having that, my dad to go to when I need someone to go to, when I want to understand something, when I want to learn something, if I want to be held, if I'm crying and I want someone strong to hold me and tell me it's okay. That would be great. Someone who can listen to me in my time of need. Someone who can tell me I'm beautiful even when I don't feel like I'm beautiful. Someone who can just really show me that I am dear, that I am loved, that I am precious all the time. Come and read me a bednight, what's it called? A story at night, bedtime story, and be like, by the way, you're beautiful, queen. You're my princess. Those little things are deeply rooted or last really long, and it's like seeds that are sown in a young child and they blossom, and you will always remember that my daddy said I'm beautiful, so bro, I don't care if you don't think I'm beautiful. My daddy said I am. And yeah, someone says security, that security is there. So yeah, just be there, love her, be present, listen, and all of that good stuff.
Love that. Obi in the comment says, be an example of the type of man you would want her to choose.
Wow.
Be an example of the type of man you would want her to choose. That's true. And I remember when I was talking to Eddie, he also said, I asked him a similar question, and he said, treat your wife in the way, how did he word it? Treat your wife in the way you would want her to know this is how to be treated. So treat my wife, lay that example, treat my wife the way you'd want her to know, oh, okay, that's how a relationship should be. That's how someone should be treated. Michelle said, affirmations are key. Listening when she speaks, her mind is key. Being affectionate is key. That's deep, Michelle. Thank you, man. Thank you.
100%.
Thank you. Bisi, man, thank you for sharing this stuff. Because, like you said, being a presenter is so front-facing and so glamorous. But it's important for people to see different layers of people. And I think when you share this, again, it shows the depth, but it also shows from where you're coming from. You're not just, I popped up, I just want to do presenting. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's underlining intentions that are coming from this. And, I thank you for sharing it. I want to ask, since in having that gap of fatherlessness, where in your faith in God, and that's even assumed, in your faith in God, where have you sought to bridge that gap or close that gap? Or has that gap at all been closed in terms of your faith in God?
That gap is closing. My journey with God is an ongoing one, and I'm working every day to be closer to God. But when you find your identity in Christ and know that He is the King, He is your Father, and He's the Father of all fathers, the fact that I don't have a physical father is sort of diminished, because my spiritual father is the father to my physical father, and because He's the Father of all, He's the Father to I. And you just have that security in knowing that God has got you, and God would never want anything bad for you. And when you actually understand your identity in Christ and you trust God's plan for you, things like this don't really affect you too tough. I'm not saying that they don't affect you, because we are human, we do have emotions, but there's less weight in that sense. So
less weight.
Putting God first and allowing God to take the weight, take the burden, because that's what, the reason there's this hymn as well with there's this hymn that says that the reason, I don't remember the hymn, but it basically says something along the reason why you are feeling a type of way is because you don't cast because we
Cast
don't
your
cast,
cares?
because we don't cast
Cares?
burdens
Burdens.
onto God. That's why we feel so heavy. I can't remember what the hymn is. It's a beautiful hymn, amazing hymn. I wish I could remember it right now. But yeah, when I listen to it, I'm like, it's so true. We feel so heavy sometimes as humans, and it's because we try to carry everything ourselves. We try to carry it with our own might, with our own power, with our own understanding. We try to do it all. And there's been many situations and many occasions, and even till now, sometimes I try to do it all. What a friend we have in Jesus. Yes. Thank you.
That's my sister,
Abundantly.
That's my sister.
That hymn is everything. That's your bad sister. Hello?
Oh.
Hello?
Yeah.
Am I back?
Hello?
Yes, I can see you. Yeah. Sometimes we feel so heavy because we literally don't cast our burdens to Christ. And when you understand that God is there for you to carry it all, you feel better. I
can't sing, so I'm not even going to try. What was I going to ask? Yes, actually, I was going to ask. During this lockdown period, we've all, been affected by George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, etc. And your video, I'm Black, 82,000 views. 82,000 views. And I watched it, and it was emotional. It was heartfelt. If you haven't watched it, go on to Bisi's IGTV, and you'll see it there. It says "I'm Black," and it's a great piece, kind of culminating all the emotions of what is going on right now. Tell me, what was the process in you putting that together, and why? Why did you do it?
So I watched the I watched the George Floyd video a couple days later, right? And when I watched it, there was so much emotion in me. I was just like, no way did they disregard life like this for like 8 point, how many seconds, how many minutes? How is this possible, right? And then this is the first time I'm telling this story, right? And then I heard in my mind, hi, I'm black. And I was just like, of course I'm black. Was I white? Was I yellow? Was I orange? And then they said, hi, I'm black. I ignored it. I used to write pieces before, right? But that was just a way of expression when I didn't know how to express myself. So I wouldn't say I'm a spoken word artist or a poet. And I left it. So I watched the video on Wednesday. The voice, hi, I'm black, came in on Wednesday. In my head, I left it. Thursday, I went about my business. Hi, I'm black was in my head again. Left it. Friday, I woke up at 6 a.m. and then it said, hi, I'm black. I'm like, bro, like, you ain't gonna leave me alone. So I picked up my notebook Friday, and then I wrote, and I was just writing, and I didn't know when time was going, but it was 3 hours exactly. And I finished at 9 a.m. Yeah. And I read it back, and I was just like, Bisi, did you write this? Or did someone write this for you? And then I called up Prince. Prince is my editor. He edits the Bisi Show Lockdown Edition. And then I said, I've got this piece, and I would.
Hey, Prince is here.
He is, Prince.
Big up, Prince.
Yeah, he's amazing. I've got this piece that I wanna record, and I said, can I say it to you? And then I spoke it to him, and I like performed it or spoke it to him, and he was just like, Bisi, raw, like, wow, like, you can't record this in your room. And I was just like, how else am I going to record it? He's like, no, it needs to be a full-blown production. You need to be in a room. You need to film it properly because this is powerful and it needs to be done correctly. So I was like, all right. And then he told me what he needed. He had like a vision. He sent me some videos, and then I was just like, what do you need? And then I called up MCM, Phil, and the MCM crew. I've worked with them for a long time. And then I told Prince on Friday, called Phil on Friday. By Monday, we had filmed it. And then by Thursday, we released it. And I had kings that were literally uplifting me, saying that this is the music, this is how we should do it, all of these things. The music came from Sarah, an amazing voice. And I wouldn't have known Sarah if I didn't know my friend Ayo and her whole team. There's Koya, there's so many people. And they all came behind me and they put it together. And yeah, we created a masterpiece. We created something that I feel will serve many, many people, even when I'm not there, by the grace of God. But yeah, that's when you hear a voice, and even if you don't understand what the voice is, listen to it. Because if I didn't listen to the voice in my head, and I believe strongly is the voice of God or the Holy Spirit, we wouldn't have High and Black. And I don't know where High and Black is going to take me. I don't know who is going to serve, but I know because I listen to the voice, things will happen. There's a purpose. 100.
What was the response that you got from it?
Whoa! Oh my days! No. Listen. When I was in the studio and one of Ayo's artists came and I was like, can you just play this? Can I just play this to you? She started crying. When she started crying, I knew I had done something. And I don't like to make people cry. I like to make people smile. But when I saw that the words in which I had written could be so heartfelt to bring someone to tears, I knew it was powerful. So a lot of people were just like, wow, you've said everything that I was feeling. Like, you depicted it to an extent where I didn't even know that it could be depicted so well in a short space of time. And funny enough, that video is less time than when the police officer was on George Floyd's neck. And yeah, we got through that message, and that message came through loud and clear. And it's just on LinkedIn. I've got like how many views on LinkedIn? And I don't even use LinkedIn like I should. But I'm sure there's like nearly 7,000 views on LinkedIn. And what I loved is that a lot of white people DM'd me saying that this was brilliant, this was amazing. Thank you so much. I understand. I have a better understanding. So many people, man. It was amazing. We thank God.
Well, big up to you for, like you said, listening to the voice. Because sometimes I heard a sermon once where someone said sometimes God purposely finds people to give these type of artworks or creative pieces to, and he whispers it but they ignore it, and then you have to go and find somewhere else until you can find someone. And sometimes that person is not Christian because he went through Christian for Christian. None of his children wanted to do it, so he had to just give it out to get it out there. So I'm glad that the buck stopped with you. You did something with it, and I think God gave it to you because he knew the people around you, the community around you, were going to be willing to put their hands to the plow and make it amazing. So big up to Prince, big up to everybody that was involved in that.
Took pictures, Ayo with the music, Sarah. You guys need to check Sarah. Her voice is powerful.
What's her name?
Sarah Ikumi, Ikumu. Amazing. Her voice is honestly outstanding. But yeah, the whole team that put it together was amazing. I'm so grateful.
Guys, make sure you check out I'm Black. You just need to go on Bisi's IGTV. If you're watching this on repeat, go on IGTV. It's I'm Black. It's 82,000 views.
Help people to see it.
Go and listen to it. It's awesome. All right, cool. Well, we're going to be just rounding up now.
Okay.
I just wanted to kind of ask, you've done well so far because you have not used your pass card. I'm looking at your prize here, and I know that this is going to be appreciated. Big up to everyone that is in this live, and you know, use the comment section. Like, let us know how you felt about what we've talked about today. If anything's kind of connected with you, if anything's kind of resonated with you. So the last question you have is, it will be a weird one, but let's see what you come up with. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So the question is, do you have a question for me?
Oh. My question for you is, what is your why?
What is my wife?
Why?
Why? Oh, what's my why? What is my why? Why I do this in particular? I think it's like what you said, because the sit down is about the moniker of the sit down is real lives, real conversations. And this is what we've had right now. And that's what it's based on, because everybody might see the storefront, the facial front, or, you know, what we post on social media, what we say on social media, and you think that's the person. But it's not the person. The sit down is about going behind that, and let's understand who we are as individuals, because we're in essence, we're all the same. We all go through different things, but only when we voice it do we know that we actually connect with each other. Oh, you went through that? Well, I didn't even know that. I went through that as well. Oh, you're fatherless, me as well. So my why is, let's trumpet and shout about real stories and and have honest conversation, because in honest conversation, that's when we connect and we realize that I know you're white, I know you're black, but if I can share this story, then that can get us over one of the hurdles in understanding each other as human mankind. Then we can maybe be a bit more sympathetic, a bit more compassionate, because I understand. And understanding is such a massive element of connection. I understand you, so that's why you behave that way. I get it now, because I didn't get it before. And we've had so many, when there was no lockdown, no pre-corona, you know, we do live events. And those are intimate live events where, you know, we had JME, we had Grace LaDoja, we had Mo the comedian. These people were sharing things. These are people that people know on the facial, the front-facing side. But the heart, you may not know about the things that these people are going through. And when we were in those little, you know, intimate settings, learning about these things, you kind of connected them a bit more. And that's my why. I just want understanding. I want everybody to understand, whether you are on the mic or behind the mic. We all connect in different ways if we're brave enough to share our stories. So I'm just here to share, connect and share those stories. Let everyone connect and see that, look, we go through the same pain. I might be on a mic, but we go through the same pain and we share that same tear. So, yeah, man, that's my why, man. That's my why. And I've done music for so many years. And when I've asked this question to so many people, they've been like, oh, you know, why do you think you haven't blown? Or why do you... And I think because I'm not one dimensional. I feel like God put me on this earth to create platforms, give it to him to do what he needs to. and then move on. So I did that with music. And then in 2017, he said, pivot. Pivot. I did my last album. He said, pivot. I didn't know what, then like you said, I heard the voice, pivot. I said, whatever, pivot. I don't know what that means, pivot. And this idea that I'd been thinking of for so many years came to fruition. And that was 2017, we're in 2020. So I thank God for this platform because it enables people's voices to be heard, their stories to be shared, and allows people to connect with it wherever they fit. You know, what we've talked about in this interview might not apply to anyone, but someone will go on replay IGTV, listen to it and be like, I can connect with Bisi in that way. And so next time you see Bisi, you don't just see Bisi the presenter, but you see a deeper level that you connect with, you know. So man's going on like it's my IGTV, my channel.
Thank you. That was beautiful, man. That's brilliant. Perfect.
Well,
Bisi,
no, thank you, man. Like, and I just wish you all the best. And whenever we put anybody on our 21 questions, it is also a commitment to support them in whatever way. So you post something, we repost that ASAP. You put something on your IGTV, we're throwing that up because it's not just a one-stop, oh, great, you did my IGTV, cool, and that's it. No, it's a commitment to say the reason we did it in the first place is because we connect with you. Yeah. And we're going to keep shining light on you as much as possible until you get to the highest highs of highs. So yeah, man. So you made it all the way through 21 questions. Come on,
I am
no
a winner. Sorry.
No pass cards. So this is your present. Are you ready for your present?
I'm trying to see. Yeah. Not showing me. Let me see,
drum roll, please.
Tissue.
Kleenex. Not just tissue, Kleenex tissue. So when you're on your journeys and somebody sits next to you and you hear, or you hear, you can just pass them one of these.
Here's me thinking you was going to send me like a box of popcorn.
Huh? That's not in our budget, man. That's not in our budget yet. That's coming.
Thank you for the tissue. I will use it. You know when you're doing the tiers and I'm accepting like the awards, or when you're accepting awards.
Because that's where I was thinking. That's where I was thinking. That's where I was going. This is not for now. This is for. Man.
Nah, thank you, man. This has been amazing. This has been one of the best lives that I've done.
Oh, cool.
Thoroughly.
Oh, cool.
Enjoyed it, man. It's been so fun.
Thank you so much.
Tissues. If I don't get my tissues in the post, it's beef.
Amen. Bisi, take care, man. God bless you, man.
Blessings. Have a blessed evening. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love.
Thank you. And send your love to Bisi. Follow everything that she's doing and promote. All right? Take care.
Bye-bye.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us. 21 questions with Bisi Akins. I want you to now, before you leave, in the comment section, just let us know how you have felt it was. Let us know how you engaged with it. Let us know if it was beneficial to you. We want you to, if you haven't ever engaged with 21 questions, go back and check all the episodes. We've got it on YouTube, IGTV, and also our podcast. And these are all available through the link in our bio. Once you click on that link, you'll see our YouTube, you'll see our podcast links, and you can go all the way back and see who we've interviewed and the conversations that we have had. All right. We're going to be back next week, again, Thursday, 9 p.m. Becky said, loved this interview. Becky, thank you so much for joining us. Bree said, really good, loved it. We got some hands and some smiley faces from Marshmallow Drip. That is a name and a half. Love it. Who else? McMine said, brilliant prize. And Michelle said, sit down to the world, I'm back, Michelle. To the world, I'm back. We are here. Ciao. Marshmallow Drip said, awesome. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's counting me down for 22 seconds. Big up to everyone that joins us on the IGTV replay. Thank you for joining us. Keep sharing, and I'll be back next week. I'm Icy. This is the Sit Down 21 Questions. Peace.